Welcome to Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. I'd like to welcome you back. I'm Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today we are going to have one of those Mike's Unscripted. And I hope you find value in it. I like to take a topic, talk it over, kick out some thoughts of mine. I don't have an outline or an agenda or a script like I usually would, just to keep things flow and understanding so I don't leave anything out. But really, I'm going to hit all, the pieces that I think are of value, and hopefully you do the same. Now, with that in mind, we need a topic. And today's topic is, will my expenses go up after the divorce? And I always thought this was pretty interesting because you don't really think about expenses going up after the divorce because you've been paying whatever expenses you've been paying for so long. But there are some parts that will increase after the divorce for both parties. For example, just simply lodging, where you live, your home, whether you rent or buy, doesn't matter. You're going to be on the hook for all of the payment, whether it's the rent payment or it's the house payment. You're going to be on the hook for all that. You're not, quote unquote, splitting it with your spouse. So that's a fairly significant one, but think about all the things that are joint like that. Utility bills, TV, internet, whatever streaming services you have, all that stuff now, because there's going to be two households instead of one. Basically, those pieces will double. So your expenses will just naturally go up from there. So hopefully, when you go through the process and you get your child custody and your agreements and all that on taking care of the kids and stuff, that, you're getting child support to cover the half of the kids' expenses. And so let's hope that stays, but it's possible they could go up as well. It's just a matter of how it works out with your specific situation. And expenses naturally will go up. So you're going to want to make sure your income goes up along with it. If you're getting spousal maintenance, usually that's fixed. So that doesn't actually necessarily cover inflationary items as costs go up in the future, kind of thing. And I would say early on, you would probably want to establish and look at some kind of expense tracking, list all your expenses, see where money's going, and then, get organized. Make sure you don't miss payments, stuff like that, on the expense side of things, because that could actually add more expense to your expenses. But the reality is just knowing, and you just need to know out of the gate for the most part. It's not something you have to do all the time, but I tell you, once you get through the process, it's a nice reset to just go ahead and get those expenses down, compare it to what your income is, and you're just going to know, I have X amount of wiggle room. I don't have any wiggle room. I got to make more adjustments. I might have to need to cut something out. You just never know. So when it comes to, expenses after the divorce process, they will go up in some capacity, and you just got to be aware. And once you're aware, then you can work towards a solution and figuring out, what your options are and such. So I do hope you found this interesting. I thought it was interesting. I think it's often overlooked. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions, I'm happy to help. My contact information's over in the description. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Have yourself a great day.
We want to thank you for listening to this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce with Mike Fulkerson. For questions, please reach out to Mike via email in the description or give him a shout at 630-444-1410. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow.